Let's talk about day 2 of the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz. What a day. It was just pure drama. We saw a leader who looked totally unbeatable stumble, and then a challenger rise up in this incredible showdown.
So to really get what happened, you gotta look at the scoreboard from day 1. You had one guy, Levon Aronian, who was just in a world of his own. I mean, 100% perfect. In this tournament, a win is worth 2 points, not the usual one, so he'd won all 3 of his games. A perfect score, a massive lead. He looked, completely unstoppable. And that's exactly what made day 2 so amazing.
So here's the story we're going to follow. First, how that perfect score came under threat. Then we'll get into this wild roller coaster day for one player. We'll see how the challenger, Caruana, starts to close that gap, and it all builds to this incredible showdown for first place, which, of course, leads to a brand new leader emerging.
Okay, so day 2 kicks off, and the picture is crystal clear. You've got Levon Aronian sitting pretty at the top, a perfect 6 out of 6 points, and his closest chaser, the American number 1, Fabiano Caruana. The big question on everyone's mind was super simple. Could anyone even get close to Aronian?
Well, we didn't have to wait long for an answer. Right out of the gate, first round of the day, Aronian is in some serious trouble against Lanier Dominguez. They're playing this super theoretical, really complex French defense, and Aronian even said later he just mixed things up. He messed up his prep. The commentators were calling it a massive mistake. And honestly, he was on the ropes. But he defended like a lion and managed to save the draw. So the perfect streak, over. The door was now just a little bit open.
So while the leader is showing his first little sign of weakness, this other incredible story starts to unfold. And it's all about the unbelievable comeback of American Grandmaster Sam Shankland. And when I say comeback, I mean wow. To say day 1 was rough for Shankland is a huge understatement. He lost every single game. 0 wins, 3 losses. A total disaster. So what does he get as a reward for that? His first game of day 2 is against, drumroll please, the newly crowned world champion Gukash D. Talk about a test of character, right? And what a response he gave. Shankland didn't just win. He, in his own words, demolished the world champion. It was just this stunning, incredible turnaround. I mean, what a way to prove that one bad day doesn't define you. That moment of just pure human drama. You could feel it in the room. It was electric.
All right, so with all this drama swirling around, Aronian dropping his first point, Shankland's big win, the main challenger, Fabiano Caruana, he sees his chance, and he starts his hunt for that top spot with, this real methodical precision.
His road to the top was just a masterclass in how to do it. First up, a really solid professional draw against the rock-solid Wesley So. Super smart, no big risks. Then, in the next round, he gets the tough job of facing that resurgent Sam Shankland. But Fabi was just ruthless. He stopped that comeback story cold and notched a huge win. And just like that, boom, he'd closed the gap. He was now tied for first place.
And that win over Shankland, it wasn't just a win. It was a real statement. They were in a razor-sharp Sicilian Neidorf, an opening known for its fireworks. And Caruana didn't win by being tricky or subtle. No, he just overwhelmed them. The analysts were literally describing it as a win by brute force. The message to Aronian couldn't have been clearer.
So, the stage was just perfectly set. After 5 rounds of intense fighting, all the day's drama, all the ups and downs, it all came down to one single game. The 2 guys at the top, Caruana and Aronian, facing each other head-to-head. Winner takes sole possession of first place. It doesn't get better than that.
And the game itself? A true clash of the titans. They jumped right into Arago's in defense, which is this opening line known for being insanely complex. You could see they were both ready for a fight because they were just blitzing out their first 15 or so moves deep in their home prep.
Caruana's own words after the game really tell you everything you need to know about the intensity here. He said that Aronian confidently confronted my preparation. He knew what was coming and was ready to meet him head-on. This was more than just a game of chess. It was a battle of deep, deep preparation and a whole lot of mutual respect.
So how did this all-important game get decided? Well, for the first 17 moves, both guys are moving instantly. That's how you know they're still in their prep. But then, Aronian pauses. The theory's over, they're on their own now.
The game stays pretty balanced, but then on move 31, Aronian misses a simple way to make a draw. He was still pushing for a win he thought he had. And that decision, it turned out to be fatal. Because as the clock ticked down and the pressure cranked up, it all came down to move 36. With literally 1 second left on his clock, he makes a blunder. The game wasn't lost because of some brilliant strategy, it was lost to the clock.
And that one single last-second mistake had huge, massive consequences. It completely flipped the tournament standings on their head and totally set a new tone for the final days.
So here's what it looked like after the dust settled. A total reversal. Fabiano Caruana is now sitting all alone in first place with 10 points. That victory gave him a critical 2-point lead over his biggest rivals, Levon Aronian and Wesley So. He started the day as the hunter. Now, he's the one being hunted.
So that leaves us with the big question, right? A 2-point lead is nice, it's significant, but there is so much chess left to play. We're talking another day of rapid and then 18 rounds of blitz, which is just chaos. Can Caruana keep up this incredible form and actually defend that lead? The fight is really just getting started.